just a couple of knives I just finished, and I think they're worth showing because they're just a bit different, and I like to make a little record of anything that I do which is a bit different or a bit nice, shall we say. I just finished this. This is a camp knife here, which has been, it's going to a home. Stephen's bought this one, and it's got a rather nice piece of yew fitted to it, and this is a classic with what I call the large handle, and Cameron's bought this one, and this one's going to go out. They're both going to go out later on this morning. The sheath on this one hasn't been finished yet because Cameron says he likes to finish his sheaths himself, so he's going to apply the finish, whereas this one's had an application of golden mink oil. So first of all we'll take a look at the camp knife. And it's just a nice piece of stabilised English yew. This particular knife has got my own mosaic pins. You get the light shining on it. Really brings out the colour of the yew. It's just nice. This has got a tapered tang with black G10 liners, a good hourglass shape, a good hefty feel, a good heft in the hand as well. It's got a pronounced pommel because the grind is a bit stouter on it, and you know, you can do a lot heavier tasks with this knife, and so if you are doing any sort of chopping work, then that pronounced pommel sort of locks it into your hand a bit more. So that's the camp knife. The other knife is the classic. This has got the altered large handle. Here by comparison is an original Woodlaw. This one's made by Allen Wood, and the problem that this knife has, and my classic is very much designed around this style of knife, and it's a beautiful knife. It's absolutely perfect for the average hand, the average person's hand. It's been very well thought out and designed. But if you've got very large hands, that drop point there, especially when you're doing the chest lever grip, has a tendency to dig into the back of your palm, just there. For my hand, I've got an average to large hand, and you can see it sort of sits in quite nicely. But anyone with a very large hand, then that can sort of sit up there somewhere, and then you see what's happening. You've got this protrusion digging into your flesh, and it's uncomfortable for when you're using the chest lever. So I've sold knives to a few people with large hands now who've mentioned it, and I thought, well, I really need to come up with a solution for that, and this is what I've done. So this is my version of the Woodlaw, if you like, the Woodlaw clone. I make my blades a bit deeper. That aids longevity. So the rounded pommel means that when you do hold the knife, although the handle's slightly longer, it just means that it's not going to dig in that area there. It's not going to dig in, it's just going to sit smoothly and not cause any discomfort. So that's that's the solution that I come up with. It's quite a nice knife this. This has also got a tapered tang, 4mm, tapering down to about 2. This one's got stabilised Massa Birch mosaic pins. And then the side-by-side comparison. You can't really appreciate things until you put them side by side. Then you can appreciate the size difference between the two knives. So there's the classic. The classic and the camp knife side by side.